Welcome back to Bible and Blues, and today we are in a black hole world. This one's actually called Black Fire. Pretty cool, and not very big. We'll do a quick walk around. It won't take long to do this one, but that's okay. It's still pretty cool. I love the backdrop I'm using here. It's a black hole with a horizon ring around it and gaseous. I think it's cool. Kind of a bit of a sci-fi geek. So without further ado, we're going through Acts 23. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below about what you think about what we're doing here, because I'm having fun with it, and and I think it's something that it might enrich other person's life. If somebody feels enriched by it, please let me know. I feel enriched by doing it, so there you go. I'm not going to stop. I don't care. Acts 23. Paul looked straight at the Sanhedrin and said, "My brothers, I have fulfilled my duty to God in all good conscience to this day." At this, the high priest Ananias ordered those standing near Paul to strike him on the mouth. Then Paul said to him, "God will strike you, you whitewashed wall. You sit there to judge me according to the law, yet you yourself violate the law by commanding that I be struck." Whew, he ain't fooling around with the Sanhedrins today. Those who were standing near Paul said, "How dare you insult the God's high priest?" Paul replied, "Brothers, I did not realize that he was the high priest. For it is written, 'Do not speak evil about the ruler of your people.'" Then Paul, knowing that some of them were Sadducees and others Pharisees, called out in the Sanhedrin, "My brothers, I am a Pharisee, descendant from Pharisees. I stand on trial because of the hope of the resurrection of the dead." When he said this, a dispute broke out between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the assembly was divided. The Sadducees say that there is no resurrection, and that there are neither angels nor spirits, but the Pharisees believe all these things. Today we still have people who argue this very same thing. People are more realist. Not even talking about atheists. We're talking about people who are simply they think of them as just stories and things like that. So it's been happening for thousands of years. Interesting note. There was a great uproar, and some of the teachers of the law who were Pharisees stood up and argued vigorously. "We find nothing wrong with this man," they said. "What if a spirit or an angel has spoken to him?" The dispute became so violent that the commander was afraid Paul would be torn to pieces by them. He ordered the troops to go down and take him away from them by force and bring him into the barracks. The following night, the Lord stood near Paul and said, "Take courage. As you have testified about me in Jerusalem, so you must also testify in Rome." The next morning, some Jews formed a conspiracy and bound themselves with an oath not to eat or drink until they had killed Paul. Wow. So a hunger strike until they actually managed to do it. More than 40 men were involved in the plot. They went to the chief priests and the elders and said, "We have taken a solemn oath not to eat anything until we have killed Paul. Now then, you and the Sanhedrin petition the commander to bring him before you on the pretext of wanting more accurate information about his case. We are ready to kill him before he gets here." But when the son of Paul's sister heard of this plot, he went into the barracks and told Paul. Interesting that the right person, this is just one of the ways that God works. The right person heard about this, and who was Paul's sister, her son, heard about the plot. Now, he was in a potential situation because he was a Pharisee. Being the family of Paul, he was most likely a Pharisee. But either way, they were going. This is the Sadducees that have decided to do this, isn't it? Let me look. Just says some Jews. It doesn't say Sadducees or Pharisees or any. It doesn't necessarily say. They just said they went to the Sanhedrin. Then Paul called one of the centurions and said, "Take this young man to the commander. He has something to tell him." So he took them to the commander. The centurion said, "Paul, the prisoner, has sent for me and asked me to bring this young man to you because he has something to tell you." The commander The commander took the young man by the hand, drew him aside, and said, "What is it you want to tell me?" He said, "Some Jews have agreed to ask you to bring Paul before the Sanhedrin tomorrow on the pretext of wanting more accurate information about him. Don't give in to them, because more than 40 of them are waiting to ambush him. They have taken an oath not to eat or drink until they have killed him. They are ready now, waiting for your consent to their request." The commander dismissed the young man with this warning: "Don't tell anyone that you have reported this to me." Then he called two of his centurions and ordered them, "Get ready a detachment of 200 soldiers, 70 horsemen and 200 spearmen, to go to Caesarea at 9 tonight. Provide horses for Paul so that he may be taken safely to Governor Felix." He wrote a letter as follows: "Claudius Lysias, to His Excellency, Governor Felix. Greetings. This man was seized by the Jews, and they were about to kill him, but I came with my troops to rescue him, for I had learned that he is a Roman citizen. I wanted to know why they were accusing him, so I brought him to their Sanhedrin. I found that the accusation had to do with the questions about their law, but there was no charge against him that deserved death or imprisonment. When I was informed of a plot to be carried out against the man, I sent him to you at once. I also ordered his accusers to present to you their case against him." Commander's an upright, standing guy. He's actually doing the right thing. He's not trying to cover it up. He knows if Paul, as a Roman citizen, gets killed on his watch, this is going to end badly for him. So he's doing the right thing for himself, but still, he's still doing the right thing. So the soldiers, carrying out their orders, took Paul with them during the night and brought him as far as Antipatris. The next day, they let the cavalry go on with him while they were returning to the barracks. When the cavalry arrived in Caesarea, they delivered the letter to the governor and handed Paul over to him. The governor read the letter and asked what province he was from. Learning he was from Cilicia, he said, "I will hear your case when your accusers get here." Then he ordered that Paul be kept under guard at Herod's palace. Here is a reading of the Lord. Thanks be to God. He's in a situation here. I don't know if he's ever been in this deep of a situation. Now, he's been flogged, he's been imprisoned, he's had angels free him. He has, a lot has happened to him. But this is he's now at the governor's and he's being held at Herod's palace. Probably not a horrible place to be jailed, but still, I mean, it's not something you really want to have happen. So that's the continuing story of Paul, and as he is on his way to Rome. He was told by the Spirit, and Jesus came to him and said, "Don't fear. I need you in Rome, so I'm going to make sure you get to Rome." And so this is what's happening to him, and this is like one more step towards that, because he has work to do in Rome still. Great for him at this point in time. His story's not over yet. Thanks be to God. Let's check out this world called Blackfire. It's not going to take long. It's a small world. This has been the backdrop you've seen most of the time. We're going to go down. Let's take a... You can see this is just kind of an ocean of some kind, on some sort of strange planet. But there is one thing around the corner here. We're going to drop down here. One of the neat things about being in VR is you never break your legs when you jump from high places. There is, we do have... it's those big jumps. The gravity is set light here, so you have light gravity. I'm gonna go. I didn't go very far looking in this world because I don't think there's really much of anything beyond. Yeah, this is your border. You can't go past this these hills. You don't want to look at that rock, so I'm not going to mess with that. When you come into this world, you come in I'm heading towards the entrance of where you come in at. And so this is where you come in at. This is a cool little. This is like is this an altar? Is this a piece of technology? There's one big jump up on here, and we're going to see this, whatever this may be. We're going to jump up just so you can see. But everything's kind of has that purple tinge to it, which is neat. Purple, I guess, is not actually. It's a trick of the eyes. It's not actually a color. It's actually not something we can see. It's a trick of the eyes. It's a nice trick of the eyes, though. So, there's these 4 columns. The trees. How many trees are there? One. I was kind of curious if the tree count is significant. Nope, 3 trees, 4 columns. Thought there might be something significant. Then this altar kind of thing. I don't know if it's an altar. This could be technological. There's nothing on top of it, and then you have the water. It's just a pretty place, and I think it's great. I think it's nice little piece of property here, and somebody had some fun making this. I think, and maybe it's significant to a story somewhere. I don't know. I think maybe some sort of reference to some sci-fi story. If it is, I want to know about it. This is a cool world, and I want to know the story that's behind this one. But this is called Blackfire. So thank you very much for showing up today. Coming to this weird sci-fi world we're in called Blackfire. Be sure to check it out. I think they did a good job. Thank you very much. Bye.